You know, I'm confident of what I'm about to show you today will instantly make your videos better. Given, of course, that you don't already know this. At least when I realized this, my videos became better overnight. What I'm talking about is, of course, sound design. In my opinion, sound design is probably the most important thing when it comes to creating, good videos. Apart from, of course, filming the video itself. Without any footage, there wouldn't really be any good video, would there? But apart from that, sound design is so important in order to create like layering your videos and creating more depth to it. Now you might already know this, but I encourage you to keep watching this video, not only, because I want you to, because it won't gonna, help me out in this YouTube game, but also because I'll be dropping a bunch of tips that have helped me in level up my game, within the sound design world. Because, of course, as in with this, as in everything else, you can always learn more. Now, I'm not here to waste your time, so I'll leave timestamps throughout the entire video with where I'm putting these tips and all that stuff. So, let's take a look at the first video. I need glasses to be able to see a little bit more. And I think that a pair of headphones would also be nice, because then I can actually hear what I'm about to talk about, Here you can see a video that I posted a few months ago from the volcano. Now this is all just drone shots. It's a very good video in my opinion. And everything here, this is just sound effects that I've gotten afterwards, because, the drone, it can't really film any sound. And if it could, it would just be like, because, drone sounds. So I put everything here afterwards. And this is how it sounds with the music. So take a look. So as you can hear, there is so much sound going on. I have a bunch of wind, I have some whooshes, I have a lot of volcano sounds, and all this, you can see them, this is a whole lot. Everything here is creating the soundscape that we want and making the video more three-dimensional. And if I take away the music, so you can hear just the sound effect, not the music, this is what it would sound like then. You hear the wind and this is beautiful. Without this, it wouldn't be cool at all. So let's take another example, another video that I created not so long ago, this one here. And here you can also hear that there are like the sound effects are so many here too. This is like, you can see this is like 100 sound effects or something just to create these few seconds of videos. And it makes such a difference. Let's take a look at this without the sound effects and just the music. And you can hear the difference is huge. As you can hear, it lacks everything in my opinion. It's very flat, okay? It's cut to the beat, and that's also, if you're a total beginner, that might also be something that I remember when I learned to cut to the beat, I was like, whoa, that was a total level up. And this was the same with this here, but we're not talking about cutting to the beat now. Don't get off track. 80-80, stay in control. So, we're talking about this sound design and the incredible effect it has on your video. So let me take off the music and just the sound effects on this video, and you can hear like how much things are going on and how much it just becomes epic, You hear that? How all these sounds, just layer after layer after layer, you're creating this soundscape and making the video so much richer. And just by realizing that you can create sound design, by putting in the sounds. Like when he's doing this with the rope here, and then she's jumping with a skip rope, everything that registers in our mind, making the video much richer. So now that you understood my love for sound design, and I'm probably going to say sound design so much in this video that you can use it as a drinking game. But I'm going to talk about a few tips in order to make it, better, and how I've leveled up from just realizing this. That was the first level, and then I've dug myself deeper and learned a few tips and tricks along the way. So the first thing that I do when I'm creating a video and I want to layer in a bunch of sound effects is like, it can't be daunting in the beginning. I'm not gonna like kid you not there, you know. It can't be daunting in the beginning. You're like, okay, what should I put in? Basically what I do, I just look at the video. For instance, this video here, I'm just looking at it, and as we play, I think to myself, what sounds would be cool in this scene? So I play it, and I'm like, okay, for this, I would like to have a boom here in the beginning, a little whoosh when we come in. Is this sound? Boom. You hear? Boom. So I added that in here. And then as she's going, I want to have when he's wrapping the boxing wraps, I want to have that too. And then I basically go and find that. You can hear I have another whoosh that is more like a whoosh in the city, like whoom. You can hear it somewhere here in the middle. I think it's this sound exactly. So it's like, well, let's zoom in so you can see what we're doing here. It's actually this sound effect here, so that comes in like whoom. So let me see. And then I just go by clip after clip. That I'm doing, and I'm taking a look at every single video. And also take a look at the volcano video, I'm basically just listening, what do we need there? Okay, we need a bunch of wind. And then I find that. Now, where do I find my sound effects? For the last like 5 years, I've been getting almost all my sound effects from Epidemic Sound. So what I do, I basically just go to Epidemic Sound here, I go to sound effects, and then I type in whatever I'm looking for, you know? And Epidemic Sound has like 90,000 sound effects, which is huge. The library is like all the sound effects in the world or something. While also, you know, giving me so much music. I think they have like 35,000 tracks. And the cool thing is that the sound effects, they are included within, you know, the regular price, you understand? So you get this kind of for free. It's in the price, you know, so you get sound effects too. And basically what I do, I just type in like wind storm and see what you get, and you get a bunch of different wind storms. It's so easy for me to just download it, boom, put it in a basket, download it, and put it here in, and it's like unlimited downloads. Now, I actually contacted Epidemic Sound before creating this video and asked if they wanted to, you know, team up with me and sponsor this video, and they said yes. So big thanks for that, guys. You're really helping me keeping these videos coming. In the description, I have a link where you can get 30 days for free, try them out for free, and you can cancel it anytime. No constrictions. No, that's not a good English word. No restrictions. No. What the hell is the word I'm looking for? No strings attached. That's the word. No strings attached. And yeah, this is an affiliate link. So if you sign up, I get a little commission, which helps me out. On the same time, will you get like so much music and enormous amount of sound effects. I'll get a little bit more on that in a second. But a few tips on how to make your sound design better. I would say that the first tip is to have different volume and constantly changing the volume of the any given sound effect that you have based on where you are in the video and based on the visuals in the video. Now this might sound very, very basic, but I see a whole lot of people failing on this, and I don't want you to fail on this. What I mean by that is, for instance, the sound of the lava and the sound of the volcano. In this clip, I have it so much louder. Let's see if we can see it here. Here is volcano. I have it so much louder here because it makes sense. We're going closer to the volcano. We're very close to the volcano, so you can hear here. You can hear it bubbling, blah, 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 blah. And then the next clip, we transition to this one. And here, I'm pretty far away from the volcano. So it wouldn't make sense that we hear as much the volcano as here. And this I do to everything, no matter what it is, you know. If I'm walking somewhere and I have a shot of me walking and I'm far away, I want to have the sounds of the steps lower than if I were close to the sound. And this makes total sense. Now, this is so subtle, but our mind registers it. If it hears it slowly, if it hears it in lower, it can't be sometimes hard speaking this language, but if it hears it lower, the mind registers that it is further away without really thinking about it. And that's the magic of it, okay? The subtleties, that's where the magic happens, okay? And you can see here that this is all decibels, and I'm constantly changing how high it goes. It goes lower here. For other sound effects, I might, for the wind, I think on these clips where we had a whole lot of snow coming in, there is a whole lot of snow coming in here. I made the wind, I think down here, all these parts of the wind, I want the wind to be more epic. So I'm dragging up the volume of the wind here. So it's like, and now you can hear the wind much louder, and then you can hear the volcano in the background. And yeah, so that's the first tip that I have, is to make sure that you're constantly checking the volumes based on the visuals, okay? And of course, with sound design, you're just basing it on the visuals. So it's pretty easy. It just takes a whole lot of time and a little bit of creativity. Talking about creativeness, tip number 2 is to get creative with your sound design, because sometimes when you're trying to look for a sound, you don't really find that perfect sound. But you can always manipulate the sound in post. So for instance here, when we transition from this clip to when we go underwater, I want to find this, splash sound effect, okay? So what I did, as always, I went on Epidemic Sound, and I went there in sound effect. I wrote underwater, and then I said what happens. And here we have a bunch of different, underwater sounds. One little tip when you're trying to find, in this vast library, is that sometimes when you can't really, I don't always have the correct word for what I'm looking for. I'm like, this sound would be cool, but what sound, So what I do then is that on this main page, the Epidemic Sound, this is what it looks like. So here you can see all the music and everything when it comes to that. I'll go to sound effects, and here you can narrow it down even further. So if I'm looking for cartoon, if I'm looking for whoosh, footsteps, props, whips, anything you want. So if I were looking for fire, just click on it, and here have a fire sound effect, and then you can narrow it down even further. If you want it for fireworks, then I have 209 for fireworks, and then bang, explosions, whatever it is, you narrow it even further. I like to use both because sometimes, as I said, I have a hard time typing in exactly what you understand. I think that some of you understand exactly the frustration when you look at a visual and you look at it and you're like, I know what sound effect, I just cannot figure out the word for it. Now, what do I mean by getting creative? So when I found the splash sound effect, and it's here, and I wanted to be more muffled. So what you can do is to add a low pass filter to the sound, making it more muffled, making it feel like it's more, coming from underwater. So you go to effects here and just write low pass. Now the location of all this might be a little bit different if you're using a different editing software, but most of them should have a low pass filter. And just drag it on to the clip, and then it's basically there. In effects control, click it and go to effects control. You can now decide how much you want it to be. The lower you go, the more muffled the sound is. The higher you go here, the less it's gonna be affected. I think I had it just have it on 1400, something like that. So it's like around default. It's a little bit more muffled, okay? Now another thing I also did to this video was that I made sure to have low pass filter on the music too, because I wanted the music also to sound like we went underwater. And that you do in the same thing, you take the music track here, add a low pass filter, already done that, so here you can see it, and then you add keyframes, okay? And this makes the music also sound very, very muffled, like it's coming from underwater. Super good tip. And there are so many other ways that you can manipulate any given sound by either speeding it up, slowing it down, or finding other effects that you can put on to manipulate the sound. For instance, a pitch shifter, you can make the sound more high or more low, like more bassy, so that's also something to keep in mind. And whenever I find a sound, and it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but now within the program, I can manipulate it to make it sound just right, just the way I want it, Now before we go into the next step, I just want to do a quick shout out to my homies at Epidemic Sound. I've been using their service for almost since the beginning of this YouTube career, basically because with their suite, is that something you say? What I'm trying to say is that the best thing for me is that all the music and all the sound effects I can get here are 100% royalty free, meaning that I can monetize my videos while using that. And that is huge for me who wants to make a living while doing this, And I started right off the bat, I think I've been on YouTube now for 5 years. I started to subscribe to Epidemic Sound, I think in late 2016, because I knew that in the future, the videos that I was creating then will be watched now, and they are. So I want them to be able to monetize them in the future. So if you're new and just starting out, I recommend this service, so you can right off the bat, knowing that in the future, you're totally safe and nobody's gonna come and copy strike your video, because that's not fun, So again, there's a link in the description. It gives you 30 days free to try them out, no strings attached, and yeah, do that. Now, the last tip, boys and girls, is to use the panner, and this is huge. This is really what I think separates total noobs and those who are. I'm not going to say that I'm a professional sound designer. I'm not, but I'm a little warm in the feet. Is that even something you say? Warm in the feet? I'm warm in the feet, And that is to use the panner. Now, what do I mean by that? Take a look at this. This is a vlog that I posted, I think, in April, and listen to this here. Now, I'm not totally sure if you noticed this, but I do think that your mind registered it because this is very subtle, but it makes a huge difference. Basically what I'm doing, I'm using the panner, making the sounds shift from one ear to the other, or just in this ear or just in this ear, depending on where the music is coming from in any given scene. So here, me and my girlfriend are walking past here. Okay, we're taking a walk here. This is these footstep sounds, and by using the panner slider, so you can either just, go to effect control and do a keyframes with panning here. But what I like to do, I like to go to show keyframes, panner, and then balance. Okay, and then you got these sliders here. You slide them up to minus, and now all the sound is coming from the left ear, and you slide them down to the right, and now all the sound is coming to the, right there. And then depending on the dominance of it, so if it's like here, now most of the sound is coming from the left ear, because if we run like minus 60 something, but a little bit is coming from here. And then you can use keyframes to keyframe it down. So now the sound, if you have it from, I think I had it from minus, because we are coming in from the left. Okay, so the mind registers here that people are walking from the left, and as we are moving across the scene, you can see here that I'm panning this down, so now the sound is coming from this ear and going more here until we pan a little bit down all the way here. And I think the subtlety of this is amazing. One little thing while I'm working on this scene is that here we are moving past this little subject. This is just like a little bonus tip because I noticed it. And I put a little whoosh sound exactly here. So here and here, when we are moving across this, and it gets a little oomph while we're moving, across these little dunes here. You can hear. I think that is nice. Anyways, how I often use the panning is like if I'm doing a scene in the city and there's a drone shot and I want to have an ambulance or a car horn or something, I might just put it in this ear. I think that's a little bit more realistic than everything coming here. Or we see the car go by, I pan like I just showed you, making the car go like vroom. And doing this to all the sounds, this really takes your sound design to the next level. So the first level is just to understand that you can put all these sounds to create these layers and making the video more three-dimensional. The next thing is all these little things that you can do too. So panning the sounds, depending on where they're coming from, and even, moving them between ears, that I'm telling you, you're gonna have fun with this. I know this video was a little bit long and a little bit heavy, but there is so much to learn, and this is such a fun thing to just looking at video and finding the sound effects that you want until you've created this, masterpiece of just layered sound on layered sound, and the video just really comes to life. I love it. So if you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask in comments down below. Consider subscribing because I create a bunch of videos. If you could, please smack that like button for me. Then it really did I already say that? I don't know. Smack the like button because it helps me out. I should probably start to say that before, because this is the total end, and it's just you total legends that are still watching. And yeah, I really appreciate that you are here. And if you have any questions, I already said all that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.